Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the open book. This is your host, Lakeisha, and I hope everyone is having a fabulous Friday. Make sure you hit the like button on your way in. Let everyone know that we are live, okay? It is the weekend. I know a lot of us are, hey, pour that in the cup, okay? And then put the rest there on with the top. I apologize, y'all. It is the weekend and I am so ready for the weekend. Okay, we get to sleep in on tomorrow. Now, y'all, I have a topic that I'm going to cover because this trial is now in session, and I know we heading into P Diddy time. But this one actually has been taking place, and I am going to recap some of the things that we've been missing. I know I've been missing it because I didn't even know they kept this quiet. Okay, this one, this one here, it was quiet because they probably just didn't want a lot of protesting and things of that sort. Because hey, we already know. Okay, those types of things can happen. But let's see who we have in the building so far. Hey, Dreamy Girl. Hey, sis. Thank you for joining and for being first in the building. I appreciate it, sis. Hi, Shelly. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Yes, okay. This live is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is covered under the Fair Use Act, Section 107. Information shared is alleged in our opinions as we react to various topics and people. Thank you, sis. Yes. Also, oh, you've been watching it? Yeah, girl. You should have told me, girl, because this here I'm really interested in. Okay, I'm really interested in because of what happened. It was so unfair, and this young man, Tyre Nichols, should not have lost his life. Okay. Yes, if you would like to help support the channel and help me reach my goal, any super sticker or super chat for any amount would be greatly appreciated. Also, there are various ways that you can support, whether Cash App, Coffee. I really appreciate your support, but free is to hit that like button. Okay. Hi, Yolanda. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, y'all. So many of y'all, because even my husband forgot about this trial for Tyre Nichols. Okay, this is the young man that many of you probably remember seeing this picture different places all over back in January 2023. Hold on one second. Okay, my apologies, y'all. And so many of you may remember his picture from when all of this happened, unfortunately, back in 2023. Tyre died several days after a violent traffic stop. And all of this was captured on body camera footage. Also, camera footage from a light pole, okay, that they weren't expecting to be there, okay, which shows officers striking Nichols repeatedly. 5 officers were charged in connection with his death. Now, his death had prompted protests and unrest across the country. Okay, he was 29 years old, and he was first pulled over by these police for alleged reckless driving. Okay, now you probably thinking to yourself, well, how does reckless driving lead to someone's murder? Okay, and that's basically what it was. Hi, Janelle. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Okay. Um, Now, according to Tyre's mother, her name is Rovon Wells. Tyre was only 2 minutes away from his home when he was pulled over. Then officials said that the Memphis officers approached Nichols, who ran away. Now, it wasn't one of those things where, oh, we just fleeing the cops. No, there was a whole altercation before he tried to run away. And in my opinion, I think that poor man saw death. Okay, he saw it coming for him. Hey, Southern Belle, welcome. Thank you for joining, sis. He saw death coming for him while they were beating him at one place. He gets up to take off because he's trying to get away. They tase him and run after him and beat the man. Okay. Now the body camera footage of this incident shows that Nichols did not originally run, okay, when he was being approached by these officers. Nichols told the police that he was just trying to get home. That's one of his last words spoken. Okay, he worked from at FedEx, and he who y'all, this part is kind of emotional because it takes me back to George Floyd. He worked at FedEx and he was trying to get home. And when all of this occurred, they said that he yelled for his mother 3 times towards the end of the video. And I don't know if y'all remember with George Floyd, um, while that was happening to him, where the officer was on his neck towards the last part of his life, he was also calling for his mother. That y'all, that's why mothers are so important. Like seriously, that's why mothers are so important. And kids remember us even towards death. They remember us, and so I want to show, and this is a trigger warning. I do want to show a snippet of the arrest video. Hi, Data Search, welcome. She said, OP, thank you for putting the spotlight on this case. You're welcome. You're welcome. Hey, I just found out that the trial was this week. So I said, oh, yes, I'm definitely covering that. Okay. Because I remember when all of this was happening. And rest in peace to Tyre. I just hate that young man's life ended in this fashion. Okay, let me pull up that video. And let me put trigger warning. Also, this video may contain images that may be disturbing for some viewers. Okay, I just want to say that. And let me also put that on the screen. Okay. There we go. Damn, I didn't do anything. Hey, I didn't hurt you. All right. Get on the ground. Hey, yo. I'm on the ground. Lay down. That's stop. I'm not doing it. Watch out. Okay, Derek, I understand.
For me to find out that my son was calling my name and I was only feet away, did not even hear him. You have no clue how I feel right now.
Ooh, y'all. So that was the video, the body cam footage that many of us saw during that time. That was very disturbing to see that it almost paralleled that of Rodney King. Okay. The only difference, I would say not the only, but one of the differences is all of the officers involved in this, mainly all of the ones charged with second degree murder, were black men. Okay? Were black men. Now, usually we hear about these incidents happening with other races, okay? Uh, with these types of traffic stops, and not all, but most, okay? And this was shocking to see. Y'all did this to another black man, okay? I just could not believe it. No one deserves to get their life taken if they are unarmed and for a reckless driving um citation. Okay? How did it get here? How did it escalate to that degree? Okay, where it took 5 of y'all to do this to one man smaller than all of y'all. Okay, and y'all, okay, let me continue. And so this body cam footage just showed the initial altercation, where an officer warned Tyre, "I'm going to beat your A and I'm going to tase your A," as various officers hold him on the ground and yell at him. And yes, my prayers go out to his mother as well. Dare to search. Like, I know that this is going to be hard, for her to even sit and relive all of this. Finding her son, she heard it was one thing that happened to him. Then when she goes to see him, it's something else. Hi, V. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Hey, Terry. Thank you for joining. I appreciate that, Terry. I said it earlier. Thank you so, so much. And then she had to find her son in that state. And so the officers held him down to the ground and they were yelling at him. But if y'all heard in that video, Nichols' tone remained calm. Okay. He even told the cops at one time, "You guys are really doing a lot right now." And he manages to break free from the officers as they appear to try to deploy a stun gun on him, and he runs away. Okay. Now, after that, several of those officers can later be seen in body camera footage, group with Nichols standing over him as he's on the ground. 2 officers hold him down, a third kicks him, and then a fourth officer comes over with a baton. And the officers pick Nichols up from the ground and hold him up while officers appear to strike him in the face and the torso. As he fell to his knees, several officers kneel and lean over him while another appears to stand a few feet away watching. Okay, so you didn't even think to intervene. And y'all, we're going to actually look at some of the testimony of that arresting officer. Okay, let's see. There, the search said they say they were a goon squad that were known for doing this type of thing. Right, right. They were a part of this. I think it was called the Scorpion Squad or something. That sounds scary too. Okay, even the name sounds scary to me. And then additional officers run into the frame. See, that's what I this is the part, when a lot of people say, oh, all of the officers are not bad and things like that. No, they're not. Hi, Beverly. They're not. But I have a problem if we have these type of altercations, and I don't care what race you are. Okay, white, black, Hispanic, whatever. If you see that there is some type of treatment that is excessive, okay, even in the George Floyd, and now we have this with the Rodney King, all of that, you are just as guilty if you stand there and let somebody else beat someone to death. You're just as guilty because you could have intervened into that situation. Okay. Right. Exactly, Southern Belle. It's no excuse for that. This man, what did he do? That's all I'm saying. What did this man do to deserve any of this type of treatment? About 3 minutes from the first kick, they began to step away. They eventually dragged him into the street and leaned him up against a car as he appears to have his hands behind his back. So not only did they beat him, this man is barely breathing, okay, on the ground. They've kicked and beat him and all of that. Now they put handcuffs on him and tried to lean him up onto the car. Okay. Now he remained slumped next to the car for about 20 minutes before officers first attempt to render him aid. Several minutes later, the EMTs appear to lean over Nichols before an ambulance appears. Imagine the wasted time in 20 minutes, and y'all have not even tried to render aid to this man. No one tried. No one. Then you want to call the ambulance. The footage shows officers beating Nichols and using pepper spray, as he begins yelling for his mother, who lived nearby. The man was only 2 minutes from his home. He is heard screaming, "Mom," at least 3 times. The officers yelled multiple times at Nichols to give me your hands. The officer with the baton can be heard saying, "I'm a baton the F out of you." Then appears to strike him on the back 3 times. Officers pull Nichols to a stand, then appear to punch and slap him. After all of this, Tyre, now he's still at a point where he's still alive. No one there had a heart to say, "Look, y'all, this is too much." Okay. He looks like he's barely hanging on. He complained of being short of breath. Then they decide to transport him by ambulance to Memphis's St. Francis Hospital. Now he's in critical condition. Now he's in critical condition after all of that time. Hi, Becca. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Okay. Now, due to his condition, the Shelby County District Attorney's Office was contacted, and TBI special agents were requested to conduct a use of force investigation. And then at that time, the Memphis Police Department said that the officers involved would be routinely relieved of duty pending the outcome. And this was back when that first happened. Then Tyre, y'all, ended up passing away 3 days after he was detained by the Memphis police. Okay, so following that on January 18th, the federal investigations began. Okay, they by January 20th, they fired the Memphis police officers, and they fired all 5 of them. Okay, the officers were identified as Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, Emmett Martin III, Desmond Mills Jr., and Justin Smith. They are all Black men. One quote stated that after a thorough review of the circumstances surrounding this incident, we have determined that 5 MPD officers violated multiple department policies, including excessive use of force, duty to intervene, and duty to render aid, the department said in a statement. Then they allowed on January 23rd the family to see the body cam footage, okay? And they described this video, part of what we've seen. Now, we haven't seen just everything. They described it as being appalling, deplorable, heinous, violent, and troublesome on every level. They have also retained Ben Crump as their attorney, okay? Then they did an independent autopsy report. Okay, this is leading up to the trial, just kind of giving y'all some background because some people probably forgot. Then they did an independent autopsy. The grand jury indicted 5 of these officers. They have each been charged with murder and are in custody. They have been charged with second-degree murder, aggravated assault, aggravated kidnapping, resulting in bodily injury, aggravated kidnapping involving the possession of a weapon, official misconduct through unauthorized exercise of power, official misconduct through failure to act when there is a duty imposed by law, and official oppression. Look at all of those charges, y'all. All of those charges. Okay. And then they pled not guilty on February 17th. Okay, now the autopsy completed by forensic pathologists hired by the family found that Nichols suffered from extensive bleeding caused by a severe beating. Okay, his observed injuries were consistent with what the family and attorneys witnessed on the video of his fatal encounter with the police on January 7th. Okay, so that gets us to the kind of the trial that's taking place. One of the they better not. Oh, V. Now all of them gonna be under the jail. Okay, sirs, y'all already know. We probably could have skipped this. Okay, they all gonna be under the jail. Tyre mother just seeing the video in court. Well, she was a part of the family. I think when they showed the other part, and I don't see how she didn't see it. It was everywhere. This body cam footage. B said, "I wonder if they were, if they were white, if they would have gotten these charges. Some not. Some of those charges, no. Some y'all already know. Some of these other cases, no one got indicted or convicted in most of these cases. Now some we were surprised actually went to jail. The guy Chauvin with George Floyd, I was surprised. Okay. The trial makes you wonder. The experts been defending the actions. Defending it, really? Girl, I don't see how they doing that. Okay, they are wrong for that. So one of the testimonies that we're about to listen to, and I'm not going to play the whole thing, is from the arresting officer, the one with the baton. I don't even know why a traffic stop like this made him want to take out a baton. Like, sir, really? Come on now. Okay, let me pull it up.
Where y'all were at?
Yes. And then I ran up there and I immediately pepper sprayed him.
Well, when you run up there, what do you see? Who's doing what?
I see Dean and Smith. They're holding Mr. Nichols.
Is Mr. Nichols standing up or is he on the ground?
He was on the ground. He was on the ground. Okay. He was on the ground. And I pulled out the pepper spray and I sprayed again. And I sprayed him 2 times. It wasn't working. And the third time I tried to.
Did you say it wasn't working or wasn't worth it? I couldn't hear you.
No, I sprayed and it just wasn't working.
Wasn't working?
Yeah, it wasn't working. And then I sprayed the third time, and the third time I sprayed myself. And then when I sprayed myself, I backed away from Mr. Nichols, Bean, and Smith. And I was trying to collect my thoughts. Because when you get sprayed, you really can't see that. You can't see it.
Had you been sprayed directly in the eyes?
Yes. I sprayed myself directly in the eye. And I backed away. I was trying to collect myself. And then at that time, it was Bean, Smith, and I believe Martin was there now.
And let me interrupt you because we did this with Mr. Bain. We need to do it with everybody. I think you've already identified him, but can you tell me where Mr. Smith is seated in the courtroom?
Seat 1.
The record to reflect he's identified, Justice Smith. Smith and Bean and Emmett Martin?
Yes.
So at this point, it is those 3. Is Mr. Nichols still on the ground?
And notice how, in this courthouse, they're looking all nervous and sophisticated and quiet and But y'all weren't doing that night. Okay. Dreamy Girl said too many orders given to him at one time. Exactly. If you have, what do you need that many officers for? Okay. If you, they didn't even give the man a chance. If you're driving recklessly, you know, some of us, baby, I didn't hit a curb one time before. They probably thought I was reckless. Okay, trying to look at some on my phone. I'm like, ooh, let me get over. Okay, was he doing that a lot? Okay. What made y'all pull this man over and have that many cops on him like that for a traffic stop? Did he even get to take a breath? The breath. What is it called? What is it? Breathalyzer. The breathalyzer test. Did he walk the line? Did y'all try to see if he was drunk first before y'all called y'all buddies? How did everyone show up at one time? Okay. And then y'all all sitting here looking all quiet and let me put my glasses on. Let me look so sophisticated in my suits. But that night you weren't. Okay. You weren't. And I'm glad that this lawyer, I watched a little bit of this earlier. This lawyer called him out on that too. Okay. And I'm glad that he took note of that.
Yes, yes.
And you had sprayed yourself and you're attempting to collect yourself.
Yes.
Sprayed himself. Wow.
And
the officers. Hi, Tammy.
I heard the officers kept saying, give me hands, give me hands. And because I sprayed myself, I became angry and I used my baton. I pulled a baton out and I approached.
I'm talking to you right now in this courtroom. You seem pretty mild mannered. How angry did you become?
To pull the baton out, I sprayed myself. So I couldn't see.
So I think if y'all listen to that part, when he pulled, they didn't do what, Becca, when they pulled out, he pulled, okay, when they were all over him in the video, y'all, that we just showed, they were all over him when he first got the car, first. And so everyone is yelling at him to do certain things, do this, do that. The man is wondering first. I would wonder and be scared too. Y'all, to this day, okay, if I get pulled over for a ticket, I immediately start shaking. I get so nervous. Okay. So imagine not just one officer, but you have multiple, 5 officers over you, kicking, pulling on you, telling you to put your hands behind your back. You got this one pulling out his pepper spray. The man probably is like, oh my God, now he's trying to get home. He's 2 minutes away. Maybe if he could just get home, get to his mom, maybe they can kind of explain. He'll have some backup there and they can kind of, see what the real deal is. Like he was probably confused. So he takes off. Okay. He took off. Let me show for those of you just coming in now, if you're in here and you can't do graphic, y'all, you might just want to come back in about, it's 1 minute and 24 seconds. Okay. But I do want to show this to the ones who weren't in here so they can see what I'm talking about. Okay. And we're going to come back to this video. Thank you, Janelle, for the super chat and for being a sponsor for tonight's show. Thank you so much. No, not they were nervous, Becca, Tyre. Trigger warning. Oh, wait, hold on here. I don't went too far back. Hold on.
This is what y'all asked for. The people in the cars, this ain't nothing personal. It is personal. That's what we want. We want answers. I don't want no more statements. I don't want no more, I feel you too. What are you going to do?
Oh Lord, how did I go that far back? Thank you, Janelle, for the super chats. Thank you, sis. I appreciate that. Okay, hold on. How did I go that far back? Let me close this. My apologies, y'all. I think when I hit when it finished the last time, it went to a new video. Okay, here it is. Thank y'all for your patience. Okay.
Damn, I didn't do anything. Hey, I didn't hurt you.
He's saying, all right. He keeps saying, all right.
Stop! I'm not doing it.
And then this toy.
Watch out.
They're spraying him. It is Dreamy Girl. Yes. Too many. Like Rodney King all over again.
For me to find out that my son was calling my name and I was only feet away, did not even hear him. You have no clue how I feel right now.
Thank you, Janelle, for the super chat. I appreciate that, sis. Thank you so much. God bless you, sis. Okay, so that was the video just to kind of give y'all that weren't familiar with how did we get here. Let me get my charger, y'all. Hold on one second. Okay. All right, let me go back.
It made me angry.
Okay. What'd you do?
And then I pulled the baton out and I approached Mr. Nichols and I told him, I said I was gonna effing baton you. And I told the officers who were in the way to move. I said, move. And then I used the baton on Mr. Nichols 3 times on his right arm. And then I stopped. And
Now, had you been trained in the use of this baton?
yes,
Now, with regard just to the physical way in which you struck Mr. Nichols, just in regard to where you struck Mr. Nichols, was that consistent with your training?
yes, it was.
Okay. As part of your training, were you trained when to use a baton and when not to?
Yes.
Are you supposed to use it because you're angry at somebody?
Uh-oh.
No.
You struck him 3 times where?
On his right arm.
Did he react to that?
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, Beverly.
Physically, where is he at when you're striking him?
He had right arm was on the ground and left arm was up, and he kind of was like a knee in the ground, maybe I would say.
Okay, so sort of half up, half down.
Yes.
Were Bean and Smith still there with him?
I think it was Smith was holding his arm at that time.
Was Bean still there?
Yeah, he was still in the area.
Now, when you had collected yourself, did you know that Emmett Martin had soccer kicked him to the head?
No.
Did you know that
Okay.
Emmett Martin had kicked him even a second time to the head?
No.
Yeah, they're going to eventually start telling on each other. Okay, taking plea deals and things like that because they know that that was excessive. They already know they're going to throw the book at them because that was for a traffic stop to it to go to this degree. Okay, like really.
Did you know that when he soccer kicked him both times, that Bean and Smith were there holding him down?
No, I didn't learn the kicks until I watched the video.
And what video are you talking about?
The incident with Mr. Nichols.
Understand the incident, but which video? You understand what I'm asking?
The Sky Cop camera.
Skycop camera. Now, you had a body camera on, is that correct?
Yes.
And some of the others had body cameras on, is that correct? Or do you know?
We are supposed to.
All supposed to.
Yes.
Some did.
I didn't hear it.
Some
Yes,
some
sir.
did. Some did have body cameras on.
Yeah, I think yes. I think we are.
The Skycop camera is something different, though. Is that right?
Yes.
When did you find out that that Skycop camera was up there on the pole? When did you find out that was there?
When I got back to the office that night.
Afterwards.
Yes, afterwards.
So you didn't know it was there at the time.
No.
Tell us about after the 3 baton strikes.
After that, I stopped, and then the pepper spray.
And you know what, y'all?
Again.
I'm wondering too, how many of them at the light post? Okay, this would have been one of my questions too. How many of them had their body cam footage off? The ones who had moved on over to where he was when they were by the street light. Okay, because the way he said that, he didn't know about that footage existed. Okay. Wow, so imagine all the other stuff they have done to people. Yes, Dreamy Girl. And remember, around that time, it was other incidents and situations that were coming to the light from what happened with them, with this group, the Scorpion gang or whatever they call themselves. Okay. Other people started speaking up saying that they had some trouble with this group of officers before, allegedly. Okay. So I bet now some of them I don't know, but how many of those officers had on their cameras during that time? He did not realize that light post camera and all that footage was right there. That's probably why they when he ran away. See, that made them extra mad when he ran because it made them run. They don't want to run. Officers just want to shoot you, pow pow. They don't want to run no more. Also, this guy said that he had the pepper spray. He was trying to pepper spray him, but it sprayed him first. See, he got more upset. Okay, so now you got us running. I done pepper sprayed myself. Now they're angry. So now they really went in on him at that point. That's what made them extra mad, right? Because body cam wouldn't have showed the kicking. They were too close to him. Exactly. Obi, I read a while back that Tyre dating one of them. I read that too. I don't know how much of that was just rumors, but it would have explained like motive. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just like, what else was going on? Unless they just do this to just random people, and it could be that. I'm not sure of how true that was because I heard that rumor too. But my thing is, wait, Beverly, hold on. Yeah, that would have given motive because they did take pictures. One of the guys took a picture, and one of them sent it out to some like 5 people, including a girl. Now I don't know. Some people were saying that he sent that to her because they allegedly knew each other or something like that. I don't know how true all of those rumors were. But Beverly, when you were saying that you had heard testimony, girl, wait a second. You seen testimony? Are you just saying you seen his testimony, or are you a potential juror? Like, I'm trying to be nosy. Y'all, I would love to be on the jury for this case. Okay. I had to think back to what she said. I was like, wait a second. What does that mean?
Until you watch it out, it keeps activate on and off. And I was just standing there, and then my eyes were shut, and I heard the thump, sound. And I heard after the second one, that's when I
Right,
my
right.
eyes open, and I looked over, and I seen Martin was punching Mr. Nichols.
Did you see what Mr. Bean and Mr. Smith were doing?
They were just holding his hand, holding his arm.
Was Tyre standing?
Yes, he's standing at this point, yes.
Right.
Was Mr. Bean on one hand and Mr. Smith on the other?
Yes.
And Mr. Martin was hit
Yes.
hard?
Yes. And after I peeked and looked, I was wondering, so why is he punching him? And then
Right, Southern Belle.
I didn't want to look no more because it didn't look good. And
You said don't
Listen
look
to
at
this, y'all.
the way how he was punching Mr. Nichols.
Looked like it wasn't right.
Correct.
Looked like it could really hurt him.
Correct.
Had you heard Tyre make any threats to y'all?
No, I can't read. I don't recall no threats.
We heard that you said something about, I'm going to effing baton you. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did you hear anybody else there make any threats?
No, I can't recall. No.
Did you ever hear anybody there say hit him?
When I watched the video, that's when I heard the hit him.
And we're going to watch the videos. So that's probably the appropriate time, I guess, for me to ask you about that.
Okay.
Shopping online comes with digital threats, so turn on NordVPN.
He's hit him. Mr. Bean said that he saw it. What happens next?
I believe after I couldn't look no more, and then after that, I believe that's when he was taken into custody.
Now, you're not a small man. Would you agree with me?
I agree.
Is Mr. Martin bigger than you?
Just taller.
Just taller. Who is the smallest person out there that night?
Officer or anybody?
Anybody?
Mr. Nichols.
Mr. Nichols. Did you ever see Mr. Nichols throw a punch?
No.
Did you ever see Mr. Nichols try to karate kick anybody?
No.
Did you ever see Mr. Nichols produce a weapon?
No.
When you said that what you saw Mr. Martin doing with Mr. Bean and Mr. Smith at his side, when you said it was wrong, well, you're doing something wrong right then too, aren't you?
Yes.
What's your duty as a police officer when you see something like that?
Stop Mr. Martin.
You got to try to stop it, don't you?
Yes.
You take an oath to be a police officer, don't you?
Yes.
You understand that you have a duty to intervene,
Yes.
even if that means intervening with your fellow officers when you see excessive force. Is that right?
Yes.
Each and every one of you officers out there had a duty to intervene, didn't you?
Yes.
Did you ever say, stop?
No.
Do you regret that?
Yes.
Did you ever try to get yourself in between Mr. Martin and Tyre and Whoa. We got this. We got this. We got this.
Right, Dreamy Girl?
You ever try to do that?
No.
Do you regret that?
Yes.
Wow.
Did you ever see Mr. Bean or Mr. Smith? We got this. We got this. Stop.
No.
Wow.
Did you ever see any of those officers out there do that?
No.
Instead, it just kept going.
Yes.
You said he was taken into custody. You know.
So with that part, he has admitted that there were times where they could have stopped this. Okay? They could have stopped this. Right, Beverly? You could tell his conscience is tearing him up. He even said that night that he couldn't look anymore. So if it's bothering you to that degree, how do you think it's bothering the person that's getting beat? Like this man said, someone could have said, look, that's enough. Who is going to be the officer that's going to stand up in these situations to say it's enough? Enough is enough. Like, stop. He's had enough. I believe it was from the video that night. What part, Dreamy Girl?
That he was brought to the ground.
That he had both handcuffs on.
At this point, a bunch of people on top of him.
Right.
No, I don't. I can see the video again, but I don't recall.
Okay. Do you remember how many people were physically, taking him into custody at that time?
No, I don't.
Oh. So is this up to date?
Mostly.
Did you ever physically touch Tyre Nichols?
Yes, that night.
Yes.
Right, sis.
When did you touch him?
Mm-hmm.
When I used the baton.
I got that. So when you struck him with a baton 3 times, but did you ever handle him?
No.
Did you ever hold him up?
No.
Did you ever press him down on the ground?
No.
But you batoned him 3 times.
Yes.
After he is, I'm going to use your phrase, taken into custody, okay? Do you see Defendant Haley arrive?
I saw him arrive when I watched my camera.
Okay, so at that time you do not remember seeing Defendant Haley?
No.
Okay. But later when you watch your body-worn camera, you see Defendant Haley?
Yes.
We will watch it. With the appropriate time, I'll ask you about that, okay?
Okay.
Tell me what happens next.
So after he was taken custody, he was propped up against someone's car, Tyre, and then the fire department arrived, and they were there. They were doing what they do to someone, and then I remember I saw as they were there, Miss Nichols slouched over to the ground, and I yelled, "Hey!" I said, "Hey!" Look at him, and then I believe Smith said to the fire department, he said, "Bag him."
Does that mean something about oxygen, getting oxygen to him or something?
I don't know what it means. I just know Smith went to EMT or parent school, something, but he did that. So I would say that Smith would know better what EMT paramedics should do than I would do.
Gotcha. While paramedics doing whatever they're doing, we'll see it for ourselves on the video. While he's doing what he's doing, and Smith saying whatever, are you telling these paramedics, man, look at his head, he got hit a lot really hard in his head.
No, I didn't tell the paramedics anything.
Okay. I bet y'all didn't. You know, my question too about the paramedics that came, y'all. What did they think? You know, what were their thoughts as to how did this man end up in this state? Okay, what happened? That would have been my question. What happened? Because then y'all would have purchased yourselves even more because were y'all going to tell them the extent that y'all went? Okay, how far y'all actually, beat this man up so they could have treated any potential internal bleeding or injuries? Like you come and find a man like that, that would have been my first question. Yes, right. Right, Beverly. They wouldn't even let them work on him. What was it so bad about this man? What did he do? I hope it comes out in this trial. What was their motivation? What did he do to deserve this? Like, come on. The people come there to try to help him, and y'all still blocking it. Okay, like y'all wanted it to happen, in my opinion. Like, did y'all explain the extent? He's saying they didn't even tell. Okay, right. It seems like that, Becca, they ran him down to beat him. Like, what were there any previous like altercations that we don't know about? Like, what was the motivation? Right. Okay, Southern Belle. Girl, we could have bypassed all of this. Baby, we could bypass all of this. Cause see, they already know. They know if they not gonna. I'm gonna just leave it. We keep going. Some stuff I'm just not gonna say on here. It's crazy. Hi, Jessica. Welcome.
Tyrese at the car on the ground.
And then so now paramedics are now they're working on him, like they're doing their paramedic stuff with him, and we find out he's going to be transported to the hospital. Our lieutenant made scene.
Is his name Dwayne Smith?
Yes.
Now, while this paramedic stuff is going on with Mr. Nichols, are you having conversations with these defendants? With Defendant Martin and with Defendant Smith and Defendant Bean and Defendant Haley?
Yes.
What's the substance of those conversations?
I kept asking Martin.
You mean indicted?
What happened? Like why you stopped him?
But the trial's still going on, right?
How did we get over here? How did we get to this? Because I was in disbelief on how Mr. Nichols looked. Normally, as a police officer, I respond to someone looks like that. I've never been.
Oh, Jessica, I don't know
something when someone looks like that.
I hadn't heard about that.
I kept asking Martin over and over.
How to get to this?
Yes, how to get to this? Why he stopped him? What did he do? What did he have? I kept asking him.
Well, you had part of the answer of how it got to this like this is your anger.
Yes.
Connect your customers with your business like never before. Create, manage.
At some point in these conversations,
No, I don't think they've had the trial yet, Dreamy Girl.
Exactly
for them to be convicted.
Okay. But did
I
some
thought
of
this
these
is what that's
defendants
for.
make statements about hitting Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Because they have to look at
Did
evidence.
they make statements about
They pled not guilty.
everybody was rocking them or whatever?
Yes. When I listen to the video, I can tell you better.
Is there a point in the video where we're going to see one of the defendants, we'll have you describe it when we see it, makes a motion about taking your body camera off?
Yes.
What is that about?
That was Martin. He was telling me to take my camera off because he wanted to tell me something so the camera wouldn't catch it.
See there you go. Did we not just say that earlier? I'm curious to know how many of them had body cameras on during that time over there by that light pole. Okay, so now he's admitting that one of the officers told him to go ahead and take it off because he wanted to tell him something. See, this is my thing. When it comes to the body cameras, what's the point? Okay, what's the point of having them on if you have the discretion of not turning it on or to turn it off when it's convenient? Okay, no. It needs to always be on. Okay, and if it goes out or something like that, then hey, there needs to be a reason, a paper or something that you fill out that says why you turned it off for this X amount of time. That's why some of these officers are doing some of the stuff because they cut the cameras off. Okay, they don't want people to hear. They mute it or whatever they can do to it. Okay, one of the officers already in jail. Okay, Beverly. So one is already in jail. Martin and Mills pleaded guilty to the federal charges under deals with prosecutors. The other three officers were convicted in October of witness tampering related to the cover up of the beating. Hi, Karen. Yeah, but have they been? I mean, because these are different charges. Have they been convicted? Let me see. Okay, let's see. Because it says this is the murder trial. Okay, let's see. Okay, so it's the state criminal trial of three of the officers. Okay, charged in the beating death of Tyre Nichols after the traffic stop resumed for a fourth day of testimony. Yeah, so this is the state criminal trial for these three officers. Let's see, hold on one second. Okay, so the trial of these three former Memphis police officers charged in the death of Tyre Nichols began April 28th in Memphis. The officers faced charges including second-degree murder, aggravated assault, and aggravated kidnapping, among others. Defense attorneys argued Nichols resisted arrest and posed a danger to the officers. Yeah, that's what defense is going to say, y'all. I already know this is what they're going to say when he took off running, but no. Okay, y'all just turned out body cam footage. So y'all, this is two of the other officers. They took plea deals ahead of the federal trial last year and would not be tried as part of this state trial, though they could testify. Okay. All three of these defendants pled not guilty to all of the charges ahead of this trial. Okay. Now they had to bring in an out-of-town jury. Okay. Hearing the case from Hamilton County. They're mostly white, made up of 9 women and 6 men. And then the jury will be sequestered for the duration of the trial. Ooh, woo! Uh-oh. Okay. Woo! Y'all, this is about baby. So see, those other ones already knew. They should, baby, they already knew. That's what I say. They should know too. Okay. They already know what the deal is. They already know. They should have kept it. He's gonna tell. See, the thing of it is they're about to start telling on each other. They're trying to get less time and things of that sort. We already can see that. Hey, Rosie, thank you for being a member for 5 months. Thank you so much, sis, and thank you for joining. Okay, right, girl, doomed. Okay, this one talking here did a plea deal and is serving time now. Oh, this one of the ones, but they said that they can still testify here. I bet he did. He seems like he tattletale. Yeah, he told us to turn the body cam. Sir, you are your own person. Okay, you're your own person, so you knew better. You knew you weren't supposed to turn it off, but you turned it off. Did you turn it off? Did you take out your baton? Okay, so yeah, he gonna start snitching. Okay, it was a lot of officers, 5 mainly, but they also fired some more people involved, EMT, all of that. Okay, it was so many people involved that night in some of this, and then the officer that telling him do this, He tried not to look at those other right. Girl, they sitting there looking at him like you snitch. He about to start telling. Okay. We already know.
And we'll be able to see that on the body cam. Is that right?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols is against this car. Y'all are having the conversations y'all are having. Is Mr. Nichols ultimately transported away?
Yes, he is.
Tell me about that.
We went to the hospital. Me and Bean went with him.
Right, Rose.
Bean was riding in the ambulance, and I was following behind. We got to the hospital.
When you were following the ambulance,
Exactly,
were you aware of how critical Mr. Nichols' condition was?
Yeah, yes, I called Bean as we're driving, and he said they're performing CPR.
As in his heart stopped?
Or if that's for CPR, yes.
Do you want Mr. Nichols to die?
No, I do not. I did not.
That'd be real bad. Is that right?
Correct.
You're following to the hospital, Bean's riding in the ambulance. What happens?
Get to the hospital.
Right there to search.
And then they bring him inside of one of the rooms, and the doctors and nurses, they're working on him, and me and Bean was sitting outside the room.
Y'all actually go into the hospital?
Yes.
How long do you stay in the hospital?
Oh, y'all, let me trust this. Y'all, this takes me back so much to George Floyd. Like, seriously. Those officers are going to their hospital too. And I think when these officers go to those hospitals, they're not going out of care. They're going to see if what they did, what happened, what's the end result. Did the person make it? How can they talk themselves out of what they did? You know, they're not, it reminds me so much of that because they went to the hospital too that night. I read that allegedly the main officer involved was upset that his ex was dating the victim. Yeah, Jessica, we all read that. I don't know how true that is. Hopefully, something will come out about that in the trial because I'm still just trying to understand the motive of them taking it to this level for one traffic stop. Like, what was the motive? And then why did that officer take a picture of Tyre in that state and send it off to all those people, including this female? Like, my question is, who is that female? What was the point of that? You know, why did that officer do that? So I'm just trying to see what's the motive in this. You know, I'm really so confused about that. Hopefully more will come out about stuff like that, and maybe they have a motive. I don't know.
I believe a long time ago.
Did y'all leave that night?
Yes.
When y'all left, was Mr. Nichols still alive?
Yes.
When you left, do you have conversations with Mr. Bean?
I don't think we said too much with Ryan Carr, but we was.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. You said, you don't think you said too much? I was just riding the car.
It was quiet more so.
It was quiet.
Yeah.
Probably pretty sober.
Yes.
Did you have a conversation that night with Mr. Haley?
Yes, I did.
How did that conversation happen?
When I was leaving the hospital, Mr. Haley kept calling my phone, and when I spoke with him, he asked me if I seen him on my body camera doing anything.
Mr. Haley asked you if you could see your body cam and see whether or not Mr. Haley was doing anything.
Yes.
Okay.
And then that's when I watched it real quick to see where he's on there, and I told him that I only see him running up on my body camera. when I was walking away.
And did Mr. Haley at that point make any statement to you about kicking Mr. Nichols?
No,
Could you see Mr. Haley on your body cam kick Mr. Nichols?
no.
When did you become aware that Mr. Haley kicked Mr. Nichols?
When I think it was after internal affairs interview. Yeah.
Y'all have to speak with internal affairs, is that right?
Yes.
Y'all have to fill out forms about like what type of physical contact you had with Mr. Nichols, is that right?
Yes.
And do y'all do those things that night?
Yes.
And that night, do you tell the truth and say, I batoned Mr. Nichols for no reason other than I was angry?
No.
Do you tell the truth and say, while Bean and Smith stood at his arms, Mr. Martin punched him and punched him and punched him. I could hear the thuds, and I thought this was wrong.
No.
Did you tell him that I, just like everybody else there, had a duty to intervene, but we didn't do it?
Yeah, well, object to the lady. He can ask us questions on what he said that night.
What did you tell him?
Exactly.
Well, the blue team's a form, like you said.
You called the blue team, is that right?
Yeah, so when you use the force, the form name was called blue team. And on the blue team, I put the use of force that I use. You put what you use, and I did what I did.
And you didn't put that other stuff?
No, I didn't put none. No, I didn't put what I saw.
Do you even make a comment at some point that this was all by the book?
Yes, I said that on the scene. My lieutenant arrived.
And was that a truthful statement or an untruthful statement?
Untruthful statement.
Wow.
Why would you make an untruthful statement about what y'all did that night?
It was just trying to. I knew it was a bad situation. I'm just trying to make it seem better.
Were you trying to get yourself out of trouble?
Yes.
Were you trying to keep your fellow police officers out of trouble?
More so than me.
Or so you?
More so than me.
He said most.
Did you know how bad it was yet?
I knew it was real bad when we was out there. 'Cause I was praying for him when I was out there. I knew that.
Did you know they had that Skycop camera video yet?
No, not till I got back to the office.
We've mentioned Mr. Haley a couple times. Can you point him out in the courtroom and tell us where he's seated?
Would that be C4?
C4, okay. So Mr. Smith, Mr. Bean, and then Mr. Haley, is that correct?
Yes.
The record could reflect that, identify Mr. Haley.
So reflected.
Or at some point, did you find out the TBI was investigating this matter?
Yes.
And were y'all asked to come have pictures taken of y'all that night?
Yes.
And we'll do these one by one. Tell me who is this?
This is me?
And is that what you're wearing that night?
Yes, it was.
All right, that could be Martin say so somebody said it.
Show the photo of Mr. Mills as exhibit E5.
There's nothing that obviously council has seen these pictures. These are just pictures of them that night. If we could just go ahead and publish them while we go, Judge. Just pass this. You tell me who's in this next picture?
Bean.
You've got marked as state sex number exhibit.
We will show a picture of Mr. Bean at Exhibit 6.
And you know what? I agree with what V said too. Um, they should have those body cam footage to the point where you cannot turn that off. Okay, what's the point? Now I can see if it's past your. Hold on one second. I apologize. If it was an emergency or something of that sort, or you're off that day, but to have the discretion to conveniently turn it on and off, in a lot of these cases and situations, we can't see what's happened because of that, you know. And so I really, really agree with V on that. It should be some point where no, you can't turn it off. And then if you do, then you have to put in a formal report of why you turn your body cam footage off during that time. They'll get tired of doing that, okay, because then they'll start seeing a pattern on some of these officers that want to turn it off to stop people from seeing and hearing what they're doing. It would probably kind of pull that in some, okay.
As a sergeant in Iraq, I learned that you fight for the place you
There's
call
only
home.
one will
And
do
on
it,
Fort Worth City
right?
Council,
As they return the exhibits after it goes all the way.
Okay. Well, that was his testimony pretty much about what happened that night. He's the one that used the baton. He said he struck Tyre 3 times as to cover themselves in their own. But I agree. Yes, that's what they're doing. They're covering it for each other. Get out of there. Okay. That's what they're doing pretty much, you know. And so it's so sad, but I can tell that night it probably did mess with his conscience, okay, because he said he could not look anymore at what was taking place. And it's sad, you know, that he did not try to intervene or stop them, because these are their homeboys. It's, I guess they have a code of, we not gonna tell each other when we wrong. We just gonna let you just do what you do. You know, it's crazy, y'all. It is so crazy. So this is an ongoing trial, state trial, for these three officers. And so we're going to continue to follow. I know tomorrow I want to do another testimony. I'm trying to think if I'm going to show the one with his mom, or because she got on the not the stage, the bench today, into the witness chair. And she, oh, y'all, I got to prepare myself for that one because I know that's an emotional one. But they've had several so far, of these. The autopsy independent, what was it? Let me see. I'm trying to do them in order. Okay, let's see here. The EMT, we have a short testimony from the EMT, the autopsy doctor, short testimony from him, and then Tyre Nichols' mom. And then we have, I don't know if I'm going to show the TBI agent. He discussed the investigation. The MPD officer, Preston Hemphill, he speaks on that night also. So we'll watch. We might not watch all of them, but I probably combine a couple of them and watch a short piece of their testimonies. Because I would have been covering this every day, you know, one a day, you know, but I'm just hearing about it. So we got to play catch up. Also, y'all, the Diddy trial is starting next week. They're doing, I think, jury selection next week. And I love this kind of stuff, y'all. This here, like different trials and things of that sort. I love following these. So I'll keep y'all updated as well. B said the police have a saying, rather be judged by 9 than carried by 6 or something like that. Ooh, child. That is so sad. That should pertain to the people whose lives they take as well. Okay. Because to me, my opinion, this did not have to go this far. It really did not. And no one on that night intervene and try to stop it, you know. But that was all that I had so far on that case for tonight. I do want to give Janelle a shout out. Thank you so much, sis, for being a sponsor for tonight multiple times. And also shout out to Rosenette, for being a member for 5 months. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I appreciate each and every one of you all for being here tonight. Make sure you hit that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, because you never know when I'm going to go live. And I actually may come live in a little bit because I want to discuss another topic. And I don't like to put them all together. But thank you all so much. And y'all have a blessed night and a great weekend. Bye bye.